Join us for our next meeting of the Black Classics Book Club on August 12th, that's a Saturday, at 2:30 p.m. at the Lucille H. Bluford Library here in Kansas City, Missouri. Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Lucille H. Bluford branch of the Kansas City Public Library, located at 3050 Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. There's a good chance that over the past year, you either saw in the theater or on DVD a film by Theodore Amalfi called Hidden Figures. That book, which tells the story of three women, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, and Katherine Johnson, who worked in the early days of the of NASA, doing computing work to help the flights of that first series, the Mercury series, come off. And in fact, without their help, the likelihood is that that program would have failed, and perhaps some of the astronauts in that program might have died because they didn't have the accurate information. So that film, which is a great film, and if you haven't seen it, definitely see it because it is a wonderful film, only tells part of the story. It leaves out the story of Christine Darden, who is also one of these early pioneers, African American women who worked, who were mathematicians and who worked basically as human computers to help the U.S. That program, in fact, started earlier. These women were involved in World War II as very young women in serving as human computers during the war effort. And then it goes up to the early days of the space race, their work on the Mercury program in the West Computing Lab. So the West Computing Lab was actually a segregated lab where these women worked on doing calculations to help the space race. So if you've seen the film, great. If you haven't seen the film, go see it. But whether you've seen the film or not, this book, Hidden Figures, by Margot Shetterly, which tells the story of the four women, is well worth your time. And it's going to lead to, I think, a really spirited discussion. Kate DiGirolamo of the Library Journal says this about the book, that this book offers up a crucial history that had previously and unforgivably been lost. In fact, until this year, earlier than the movie, but just before the movie came out, was the first I, in fact, heard of these women. And I imagine that the film was the first a lot of people heard of these women and their part. Kate DiGirolamo also says that we would do well to put this book into the hands of young women who have long been told that there's no room for them at the scientific table. These women were all gifted mathematicians. They suffered under racism as well as misogyny, and yet they managed to do their job well, and help their country, and now their story is being told. So I urge you to get hold of a copy of Hidden Figures. We have some here at Bluford, and come and join us on August 12th for a discussion of this book, Hidden Figures. Come to the next meeting of the Black Classics Book Club, August 12th, 2017 at 2:30 p.m. at the Lucille Bluford Library, located at 3050 Prospect in Kansas City, Missouri. Our book is Hidden Figures by Margot Shetterly.